It was a Tuesday morning, just like any other day. I was sitting in my third period history class, half listening to Mr. Thompson drone on about the Civil War. The clock on the wall ticked louder than usual, and I could feel the weight of the weekend still clinging to me. I was counting down the minutes until lunch. That's when the intercom crackled to life. At first, I thought it was just another routine announcement. Maybe the cafeteria was serving pizza instead of mystery meat. But then the principal's voice came through, and something about her tone made the entire class freeze. Teachers and students, this is a code red lockdown. Repeat, this is a code red lockdown. Follow all safety protocols immediately. The room went dead silent. You could hear a pin drop. Mr. Thompson's face went pale. He rushed to the door, locked it, and turned off the lights. "Everyone, get down," he whispered, his voice trembling. We all scrambled to the back of the classroom, crouching behind desks and bookshelves. My heart was pounding so hard I thought it might burst out of my chest. I looked around at my classmates. Sarah was clutching her phone, her hands shaking. Jake had his arms wrapped around his knees, his eyes wide with fear. No one said a word. The silence was suffocating. Minutes felt like hours. I kept glancing at the clock, watching the second hand drag itself around the dial. My mind raced with questions. What was happening? Was there someone in the building? Were we safe? Then we heard it. The sound grew louder, closer. I could feel the blood rushing in my ears. Someone was out there. The footsteps stopped right outside our door. I held my breath, my eyes glued to the door handle. My stomach churned as I imagined what, or who, might be on the other side. The handle jiggled slightly, and I almost screamed, but the door stayed locked. The footsteps moved on, fading down the hallway. I let out a shaky breath, but the relief was short-lived. The intercom crackled again. "This is the principal. The situation is ongoing. Remain in lockdown until further notice." Ongoing. That word sent a chill down my spine. What did that mean? Was someone still in the building? I pulled out my phone, desperate for answers. The screen lit up with notifications, texts from friends in other classrooms, rumors flying on social media. But no one knew what was really happening. Time dragged on. The air in the room grew heavy, and the silence became unbearable. I could hear someone crying softly in the corner. My own eyes stung with tears, but I blinked them back. I had to stay strong. Then, a new sound broke the silence. A faint tapping. It was coming from the window. I turned my head slowly, my heart in my throat. The blinds were drawn, but I could see a shadow moving behind them. My stomach dropped. The tapping grew louder, more insistent. "Don't move," Mr. Thompson whispered, his voice barely audible. "Don't make a sound." But the tapping didn't stop. It was rhythmic, almost like a code. My mind raced. Was it a signal? A warning? Or something worse? The shadow shifted, and I caught a glimpse of a face pressed against the glass. My blood ran cold. It was a man, his eyes wide and unblinking, staring right at us. He smiled, a twisted, unnerving smile, and then he was gone. I wanted to scream, to run, to do anything. But I stayed frozen, my body refusing to move. The tapping stopped, and the room fell silent again. Hours passed. The lockdown stretched on, and the tension in the room was unbearable. Finally, the intercom crackled once more. "This is the principal. The lockdown has been lifted. Please remain in your classrooms until further instructions." The relief was palpable. People started to cry, to hug each other, to breathe again. But I couldn't shake the image of that man at the window. Who was he? What did he want? Later that day, the police held an assembly to explain what had happened. They said the lockdown was triggered by reports of a suspicious person near the school. They searched the area, but found nothing. The man I saw at the window? They said it was probably just my imagination, a trick of the light. But I knew what I saw, and I knew he was real. A few days later, I was walking home from school when I noticed something strange. Across the street from the school, there was a small, run-down house I'd never paid much attention to before. But now, there was a "for sale" sign in the yard, and the windows were boarded up. Curiosity got the better of me. I walked closer, and that's when I saw it, a face in the upstairs window. The same face I'd seen during the lockdown. The same twisted smile. I froze, my heart pounding. The man raised a hand and waved slowly, as if he'd been waiting for me to find him. Then he disappeared into the shadows. I ran home and told my parents everything. They called the police, but by the time they got to the house, it was empty. The neighbors said the man had been living there for years, but no one really knew who he was or where he came from. He was just there. The police said he was harmless, just a recluse who liked to watch the school from his window. But I couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to it. Why had he tapped on the glass? Why had he smiled at me like that?